If you don't want to be like everyone else, then you have to make the sacrifices others aren't willing to make. That is what my mentor told me when I was in my early 20s, and it has stuck with me ever since. I started with no qualifications and no money, but I still became a multimillionaire. A massive part of that success was avoiding the 7 things I'm sharing with you today. Back in school, my teacher saw me as a lost cause. That pushed me to drop out at 16 and start an apprenticeship as a carpenter, making wooden trash cans for only $2 an hour. It was barely enough to survive, and every day felt like a hamster wheel. I knew if I didn't find an escape, I'd end up just like my soulless co-workers. I wanted to be free, to do the things I loved without being a slave to a boss. So I came up with a plan. If you're ready to stop being average, listen to these 7 warnings. The first thing you must avoid is working for only money. Imagine 2 paths. Path A is a boring but well-paid job. Your friends think you're killing it, your parents are proud. No overtime, your earning potential will plateau. You are trading time for a fixed rate, and that rate has a ceiling. Now, look at Path B. This is a challenging, lower-paid job at the start. You might struggle to pay bills for a few years. Your friends think you're falling behind. No overtime. Your earning potential goes through the roof. Why? Because Path B prioritizes skills and equity. Every self-made millionaire I know followed Path B, Ari. When I left school, I chose to be a carpenter's apprentice. The pay was terrible, but the skills were invaluable. I still use those hands-on skills today when designing my radio-controlled planes. By learning high-income skills, you become your own greatest asset. Focus on online skills like copywriting, video editing, or coding. 99% of your competition is mediocre. If you become the top 1%, you will never be broke again. You must avoid the trap of forgetting about equity. Equity means owning a percentage of a business so you can benefit from the profits. Too many people get blinded by a steady paycheck and forget that true wealth comes from ownership. You can gain equity by starting a business, earning it through sweat equity, or purchasing it. But you need to be realistic. You have to first become someone worthy of equity. I didn't expect equity as a teenage apprentice. I had to build my value first. Don't obsess over earning just money in the short term. The more you obsess over the immediate paycheck, the less you'll likely make in the long run. Focus on becoming someone who adds so much value that ownership is the only fair trade. The second wealth killer is buying a luxury lifestyle before you can afford it. Picture yourself cruising through Dubai in a bright yellow Lamborghini, ordering a $500 steak. It feels like success, doesn't it? No, here is the truth. Most people living like that are broke. They are paying for cars they can't afford, taking trips on credit cards they'll spend months paying off, and drowning in debt just to impress strangers on social media. It is all smoke and mirrors. The stats are brutal. 37% of Americans cannot afford an unexpected $400 expense. 60% of households cannot afford a new car. Yet the streets are full of people flexing. You cannot live like a king and build wealth at the same time in the early days. Stop buying depreciating items like flashy cars and designer clothes. Invest that money into assets, stocks, shares, crypto, or real estate. Let those assets grow and generate the income you need. Then you can buy the lifestyle you want with money your assets earned for you. The third thing to avoid is doing everything yourself. You will never outcompete a group of talented people working together. Look at the most successful people in history. They all had help. Take Elon Musk. He wasn't a lone genius. He was part of the PayPal mafia. When eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion, that group spread across the industry. They started YouTube, Yelp, LinkedIn, and SpaceX. They invested in each other and scaled together. If you're starting a side hustle, don't be a one-man band forever. There is a huge opportunity helping older business owners. Many are completely lost with technology. They don't know the tools that exist for project management or website building. That is where you come in. You can use all-in-one platforms to modernize their businesses. By leveraging the right tools, you stop trading your sweat for pennies and start building a real system. The fourth killer is having too many inputs. Do you feel like you're being pulled in a million directions? Everyone has an opinion on your fitness, your side hustle, or your career. These inputs create hundreds of paths, and your brain simply cannot cope. This is cognitive overload. The solution is going. Start with your end destination in mind and work backwards. Once you have a target, selectively ignore any input that doesn't help you reach it. And limit the number of opinions you listen to. Prioritize quality over quantity. Stop listening to general opinions from people who aren't where you want to be. Seek out expert advice from mentors who have already walked the path. Listen. Implement. And only seek a new input when you face a new challenge. Otherwise, you'll fall into decision paralysis. The fifth thing to avoid is being ego-driven. Arrogant people think they already know everything. Arrogance blinds you to life-changing opportunities. Ego-driven people focus only on the big picture, the dream. But that is a trap. When you look too far ahead, you overlook the small, crucial steps right in front of you. True wealth requires the humility to keep learning. Understand the iceberg principle. What you know is just the tip. The massive chunk of knowledge you need is underneath the surface. Arrogance makes you forget that the rest of the iceberg even exists. It convinces you that you're too good to listen and too important to take the small steps that lead to greatness. The sixth killer is passing the blame. There is an old proverb. The man who blames others has a long way to go. The man who blames himself is halfway there. But the man who blames no one has already arrived. Every day, you choose between a magnifying glass or a mirror. If you pick up the magnifying glass, you focus on other people's faults. You blame the government, the system, your boss, or your teacher. The more you reach for that glass, the bigger your excuses become. No, if you pick up the mirror, you focus on what you can actually control. Your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. When you take 100% responsibility for your life, you gain 100% of the power to change it. The final thing to avoid is staying static. Your comfort zone is a self-imposed prison. It feels safe, but there is no growth there. Studies show over half of people never leave their comfort zone, and most will end up regretting it. I learned this early. I had to step out to start my apprenticeship. I had to step out again to start my own business and take a bank loan. I even traveled to China alone to find manufacturers, facing language barriers. Even at 53, when I was successful, I stepped out again to start this YouTube channel. The world is full of possibilities, but you have to claim them. The comfort zone can expand infinitely, but only if you keep pushing. Making your first million is simple, but it is never easy. Avoid these 7 traps. Stop working for just money, stop buying the fake lifestyle, and stop trying to do it all alone. Kill your ego, take responsibility, and never stay static. If you are serious about growing your wealth in 2026, then you need to be intentional. Don't be a slave to the machine. Become the owner. You want to know exactly what to do every time you get paid. Then, subscribe right now and hit the bell. Your future self is counting on you. I'll see you in the next one.